This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
For your information, we'll take you to the scene of a fatal fire in the city of Hazleton and get an update from the fire chief. Good evening and thank you for joining us at FYI. I'm Ken Kara and let's get right to our information from FYI and the Hazleton Standard Speaker. We now know the identity of a man killed in a fire last night in Hazleton. 58-year-old Gordon Wanzer died in the fire at 104 East Mine Street. He was pronounced dead at the scene. An autopsy will be performed tomorrow. 2 others were being treated at Lehigh Valley Hospital at Cedar Crest. 8 occupants were being helped by the Red Cross. 3 firefighters sustained minor injuries and were treated on scene. We talked with Fire Chief Donald Leschko and one of the residents who lived there.
We were actually out on a public service detail on Broad Street, so our first ladder truck, or I should say our first apparatus, that was a ladder truck and a pumper, arrived here about a minute and 20 some seconds into the from initial dispatch to the scene. We arrived to find heavy fire on the first floor, exiting the rear of the building, and also we had heavy fire venting out the front of the structure. So crews right away were detailed with an enormous effort, especially with heavy fire. Still getting reports of occupants in the building. So you're trying to knock down fire, try to knock down a bulk of the fire and also get in there and do a primary search to get any occupants that are in that building out of it.
I went out on a walk and I came back to a blazing inferno. Fire trucks here trying to put the blaze out. They worked real hard trying to save everything, but there was nothing that could be done.
Hard night. You said you lost everything, and did you know the man who passed away too? I mean, lose a friend, or did you just know him through the building?
I've only met him twice. I did lose everything, but him losing his life was more precious than anything. My things can be replaced.
The fire department, along with State Police Fire Marshal and Hazleton Police, are investigating the cause. Early this morning, Hazleton Police responded to the area of 7th and Carson Streets for a report of multiple gunshots. It happened around 2:20 this morning. Officers found evidence of gunfire, but no one was reported injured. Anyone with information is asked to call Hazleton Police at 570-459-4940. A Schuylkill County man will spend the rest of his life behind bars. 55-year-old Thomas J. Petrowski was convicted yesterday of first-degree murder for the 2014 murder of his roommate David Haliburda in West Monoy Township. The jury deliberated for under 2 hours. The We Are Hazleton effort is continuing its quest to help the Hazleton Police Department. Lisa Sugart has more.
We recently told you all about the We Are Hazleton effort and the special fundraising event that was held at the Pines Eatery and Spirits to help benefit the Hazleton Police Department. Lori O'Gurkis is the woman behind We Are Hazleton, supporting the Hazleton Police Department. Lori, I was really awestruck to find out you guys raised $15,000 to help the Hazleton Police. Were you shocked by that amount?
I was. It was a little overwhelming to see the numbers that people were willing to contribute to such a needed cause. I'm so grateful. Again, I think the community sees the need. The local businesses see the need. The outside areas see the need, as well as all of the surrounding communities, and are saying, we can help. We can figure out how we can give. And if everybody gives a little bit, then we can take the burden off of maybe the elderly within the area who are, struggling. So I think it's time for all of us to step up. We're going to keep our initiative going, keep the push going forward in order to continue to help the local police department.
I know your original goal, you said, was $50,000 so that they could purchase equipment, the Hazleton Police. So you're on your way to that and probably be achieving it much quicker than you thought you would.
Yeah, I definitely think that it's going to be a total reachable effort. I shoot big, but then I always want to go further. But we're already under planning for another event. I see that the support from people who came that night were so happy, and the people who attended had said, they've never experienced something so such a great event in the local area. So to hear how people were so enthused about it makes me happy on 2 fronts. We have people returning again to the Hazleton community and supporting the local police. To have both of those both of those needs collide, that's huge. That's huge, because that's what Hazleton is. Having a great time, coming back to our downtown, experiencing each other, our friends, people who we haven't seen in a long time. People said it was like a Hazleton reunion, and I thought that is exactly what it was. It was Hazleton reunion coming back for a great cause.
All righty. Well, you can still donate. Lori will be back to tell us the latest, all the specs on what's your next fundraiser is all about. You can still be part of this, and if you have something that you can contribute, I'm sure it will be greatly appreciated.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. We are Hazleton. Thank you for everybody who stepped up and wanting to help the local police department. So appreciative. The policemen, I can't tell you how thankful the local police department is, and the chief of police. He and all of the families, the outpouring of love from them, saying they've never felt such admiration for what they do. As somebody who's not a police family member, I was blown away, because you don't realize that we're not stepping up, we're not giving, and we need to give, we need to support. These are their families who are coming out and putting their lives on the line to protect us, so we can come out in the community and do what we want to do. So it's on the backs of all of us to support the local police.
All righty. Again, we'll keep you up to date on what's happening, but please, if you want to give, you still can to We Are Hazleton and support the Hazleton Police Department.
Thanks, Lisa. And everyone at home, mark your calendars for Friday, April 8th. We Are Hazleton is planning a second event at Smoke Ring Cigar Lounge in Hazleton. More details will be released soon. A program designed to reduce crime and help kids stay in school will soon get underway in the Hazleton area. The SHINE program provides after-school programs for children. Congressman Lou Barletta and State Senator John Udechak have been instrumental in bringing it to our area.
We're going to roll it out here in Hazleton on March 21st, and I really hope the community would get behind it, because it's going to be important on how we the direction that Hazleton goes in the future as well. We got to get these kids before gangs do and try to change their lives.
SHINE will open at the Hazleton Area Career Center and the Maple Manor Elementary Middle School on March 21st. Tomorrow on FYI, we'll see Congressman Lou Barletta's first pitch before a Yankees-Red Sox spring training game. But still to come today on this show, we'll talk with a bowler from our area who's helping Long Island University have a historic season. And up next, it's our second Hazleton Area History segment, and we'll learn how preservation can help revitalization.
This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
It's time for another look back at our area's history, here with Charles McElwee, a board member for the Greater Hazleton Historical Society. And Charles, you seem very passionate about this, as Hazleton wants to move forward with revitalization. I love this quote. You want to do revitalization through preservation, even looking at a historic district in the city of Hazleton. Talk about that a little bit.
Absolutely. Preservation, I think, is a critical component to the revitalization efforts in Hazleton, or really any urban environment. It's you have to take an inventory of what you have, and contrary to popular belief, there is still a lot of resources that should be embraced, certainly architecturally, in the city. So we're looking to explore and establish a local historic district in the Church Street neighborhood. So that encompasses the blocks bounded by Diamond Avenue, Laurel Street, Church Street, up until to the downtown. And the city of Hazleton will have to pass a municipal ordinance that designates the neighborhood as historic. But we're hoping with this designation, the residents who live in that neighborhood will have an opportunity to live in a place that is loaded with rich architectural resources and can be marketed to the community as a valuable resource to the city.
And one of those gems, St. Paul's Church on West Green Street, it's now on the endangered resource list in Pennsylvania. What makes that church and the building so special?
Well, we were very proud while also disheartened to learn that the church has fallen into such a state of disrepair that it has to be designated as an at-risk property in Pennsylvania. And it was only one of 9 properties statewide that made this list. We decided this church was important because it was the oldest congregation in the city. It was a rich architectural structure. It's actually been studied in textbooks on architecture as an example of, it's called Richardsonian Romanesque, and beautiful building, really nestled behind the library. And we're hoping that this will gain statewide attraction to this beautiful resource, and hopefully it will have a good future. Previously, the Hazleton Castle and the Markle Building were placed on this list in the early 90s, and obviously with both very favorable outcomes, and we hope the same for St. Paul's.
Another property you mentioned was actually owned by Augustus Van Wickle. It's his mansion on North Church Street, and he read in a letter, I love it, go to their Facebook page, you have to check it out. He said, "We have electric lights, steam heat, long-distance telephone, and every convenience." I have all that in the house I just bought, Charles, except the long-distance telephone, so he has one up on me. Yeah. But this is an impressive mansion that, again, I didn't even know was here in Hazleton.
Yeah, spectacular home that was converted into apartments in the 50s or 60s. And the electricity is important to note because people forget Hazleton was the third city in the country to be on the full electric grid. So Scranton's not just the electric city. We got the electricity first. But the home, it's beautiful, but unfortunately falling into disrepair. But we feel it's an important resource to highlight regardless of its outcome structurally because of the story behind it. Van Wickle played a huge role in the city's history. When you go to Princeton or Brown University, two Ivy League institutions, you enter the Van Wickle gates. So to think that the two main entrances to major universities are named in his honor is quite a statement. And his summer home in Rhode Island is a major tourist attraction. So it's very unfortunate to see the condition of his home on Church Street, but that is why it's important for us to embrace this idea of a historic district that can improve not only the structural component of the neighborhood, but also its perception.
Well, Charles, thank you again for joining us. We'll have much more in this continuing segment as we take a look at the history of the Power City and the surrounding areas.
Time now for FYI News 13 weather.
I had many a family reunion at the Air Products Grove and Wildlife Preserve in hometown. Good times. I never did win the egg toss competition, though. I'll gripe later because right now here's our local forecast from the National Weather Service. Tonight, rain is likely, mainly before 2 a.m. It will be cloudy with a low of 47 degrees. We'll have wind up to 13 miles per hour. Here's our 4-day outlook through the weekend. Friday, mostly sunny, high in the mid-50s. Friday night, mostly cloudy, low in the mid-30s. Saturday, mostly sunny with a high near 58 degrees. Saturday night, mostly cloudy, low of 43. On Sunday, we have a 40% chance of showers. Our high will be 58. Sunday night, 60% chance of showers, low of 43. For Monday, 60% chance of showers. Once again, 52 will be our high. And then on Monday night, 50% chance of showers, mostly cloudy with a low of 46. From hometown to the green screen, here's your midday winning Pennsylvania lottery numbers. Pick 2, 9, 8, pick 3, 9, 1, 3, pick 4, 7, 4, 9, 3, pick 5, 1, 6, 9, 5, 6. Coming up in sports, we'll talk with Alyssa Balicki, a bowler from Long Island University. But right now, before we go to break, it's another Law Talk.
Viewer question: how do you challenge someone's claim to the decedent's property?
Well, that doesn't happen too often, but it does happen. And to the family of the decedent, it's a very important issue. I could just relate to you one particular incident that we had where the decedent had a rather large IRA account with a brokerage firm, and when we contacted that brokerage firm, they said, "Oh no, we're paying this to this other person who was not even a family member." And we said, "Wait a minute, now, get us some proof on that the decedent named them the beneficiary on that account." What they provided to us, we didn't think was particularly sustainable. So what we did is we had to file, and in the same situation, you would have to file a petition in the Orphans Court Division. This particular case was here in Luzerne County. We got our witnesses together, including an expert in account management, and we went to a trial. And we had a trial before the Orphans Court judge who decided that, in fact, we were right, the brokerage house was wrong, and ordered the brokerage house to pay the account to our client, who was the decedent's son. As I said, it doesn't happen too often, but certainly it's an important issue. And if it does happen, you can't just rely on what you are told, particularly if it's something that's odd or different or something you don't agree with. And if you don't agree with, you must ask for documented proof that it was the intent of the decedent to have that account go by beneficiary designation to someone outside the family.
This is FYI News 13 Sports.
Alyssa Balicki joins us in studio. The last time you saw her on FYI, it was a Skype session. We always appreciate your time. She bowls out at Long Island University now, was a very successful bowler in high school here for Hazleton Area High School. Successful season for Long Island so far this year, and it's still going on. You guys ranked the highest you've ever been. And you said your coach keeps you abreast of all this. She tells you where you guys are at in the rankings and where the other teams are.
Yep, she keeps us informed. It's good to know also, especially like at a tournament, say if like we're bowling a team that's like sort of in the top 8, sort of not, like it's really important to jump on them, get the win there, hopefully knock them down, knock us up a little bit, you know.
How important are the polls when it comes to maybe postseason, or do they have a bearing on anything?
The polls are pretty important, just mainly for like NCAA standings. Like the top 8 make it to nationals, so if you're top 10, you'll be sitting in the room just waiting to see the top 8. So hopefully by next year we'll be sitting in that room waiting to see if we made it.
And how about you personally? From year 1 as a freshman to this year, have you seen improvement? How's your game changed?
My game's changed a lot. I mean, physically and mentally. I became mentally stronger and more like able to make it for the team. Like when the shots needed, I could perform. But physically, my game's changed a lot, more consistent.
At the college level, when you're bowling some of these big-time teams, what is that like when there is so much pressure on you?
It's crazy, honestly. Like you just have to try to stay relaxed and not really think about all the pressure and just be like, I've been doing this since I was little. Like I know I could produce a good shot right now, and just hope for the best and let the ball do the work.
I probably asked you the last time we did an interview, but do you still bowl for fun? Will you go out there to the lanes? I mean, do you hit the bowl arena when you're coming home?
Bowling for fun. If I'm gonna go out with my friends and bowl for fun, I'll usually just use a house ball, and sometimes they're like, oh, I'll bowl lefty for you, so they could beat me. But if I actually bring my stuff, usually it's not for fun. It's just like to do drills, to practice my game physically and mentally, put myself in like pressure situations and like see if I could produce a good shot. So
now your schedule seems crazy. I looked at it. It starts in the fall with bowling and it's still going. In fact, your spring break, it seemed, was cut short. You have to go out and compete for individuals to get into nationals. So busy schedule.
Yeah, the schedule is very hectic. It's a lot about time management over the course of the year. Basically just school, bowling, sleep, and eating is pretty important. But yes, spring break, I brought one of my teammates home with me. She's from Michigan, and we're going to compete in intercollegiate singles tournament. So hopefully on Friday we'll do pretty good.
Who's your teammate you brought home?
Her name's Lauren McCowan. There's a couple of my other teammates also going to be competing in that. So hopefully we all do pretty good.
What do you think of Hazleton so far?
She actually likes it. I'm surprised. But it's because I've been taking out with my friends and we've been adventuring. So she's enjoying it.
You were named got all academic honors for the conference for the school last year as a freshman. What is your major and how's that part of college going?
Thank you.
Obviously well.
Pretty well. My major is respiratory care, and college is going pretty good. I just try to take it like test by test, exam by exam, try not to get too overwhelmed.
What's been the highlight for you this season in bowling, whether it was a personal moment or with the team?
Highlight of the season, definitely beating #1 team ranked in the nation, Arkansas State. We beat them at the SFA tournament this year, and last year at the SFA tournament, Nebraska was ranked #1 in the nation, and we beat them last year. So this tournament, we're pretty good at being the #1 ranked team in the nation.
You guys beating some big-time teams. Alyssa, with your crazy schedule, we appreciate some of your time here while you're home in Hazleton. Enjoy what's left. Thank you.
Thank you.
How good is Alyssa Balicki? I found this on LIU Bowling's Twitter account with the hashtag TrickShotTuesday. That's some sort of split that I couldn't hit with 100 tries, and boom, Balicki makes it look easy. Thanks again to Alyssa. On to the FYI Standard Speaker scoreboard, where you'll see the Monomoy area Lady Bears. They are off to the state quarterfinals. They handled North Penn Mansfield in the state single A playoffs to get there. Monomoy's D was as scary as a hungry bear in the deli section of a grocery store. They forced 20 turnovers, and Megan Babinski finished with 7 steals. Next up for Monomoy, they'll play Halifax on Saturday. The Penn State Hazelton softball team dropped a pair of games to Shawnee State College in Florida. Samantha Varela had 5 strikeouts for PSUH in the circle in Game 1. Kayla Rome struck out 8 in Game 2 for the local Lions. Back up north at the Mohegan Sun Arena at Casey Plaza, the Penguins beat Lehigh Valley in overtime. They are back at home on Saturday against Bridgeport. We've come to the end of sports, but there's more FYI after this. Thursday is $1 burger night at Bottlenecks. Get a juicy 4th pound burger for only $1 all night long.
Hey golfers, have we got the perfect vacation spot for you? Myrtle Beach. Signature Golf Packages builds and reserves the finest and most reasonably priced Myrtle Beach vacations. From scheduling your golf tee times to making your hotel accommodations. Oceanfront to golf course villas. Mark Passon, a Hazelton native, has been doing this for 10 years. Expect excellent customer service, local knowledge of all the courses, and the best golf vacation of a lifetime. Call now to learn all of the specials that Signature Golf Packages can offer you or your group. 866-462-9885 or book now at signaturegolfpackages.com.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's Talk of the Town report. First tonight, Catholic Social Services Auxiliary will be hosting a breakfast Sunday, March 13th from 8:30 to 11:30 a.m. Breakfast will be held in the community room located on the first floor of CSS at 214 West Walnut Street in Hazelton. Tickets are $8 for adults, $4 for children under 10, and for tickets or info, just call 570-455-1521. And one more quick announcement, the annual Carbon Tamaqua unit of the American Cancer Society will be holding their annual Chinese auction Sunday, March 20th. Doors will open at 11:30 at the Lakeside Ballroom in Barnesville. For info, just call 570-645-4228. That's tonight's Talk of the Town. News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Jennifer L. Quinn of Milnesville. Funeral is Saturday at 10 a.m. at the parish of St. Cyril Methodius at the Church of St. Joseph. Friends may call Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. Arrangements are under the direction of the Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home. Craig L. Wallen of Drums. Arrangements will be announced by the Harmon Funeral Home. Priscilla Heffernan, formerly of Hazelton. Arrangements will be announced by the Joseph B. Conahan Funeral Home. Barbara L. Washik of Wilkes-Barre. Funeral is Saturday at 10 a.m. at the Living Hope Bible Church. Arrangements are by the Corcoran Funeral Home. John Molatoris, formerly of Mountaintop. Mass is Saturday at 10 a.m. in St. Jude's Church. Friends may call Saturday from 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. at the McCune Funeral Home. And Bernard J. Geisig of West Hazelton. Services are Saturday at noon from the Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home. Friends may call Saturday from 10 a.m. to noon. Attention pay-per-view subscribers, if you see your name right now on News 13, you'll have 13 minutes to call in and win a free movie from Service Electric Cablevision. Our winner tonight is Beth Ann Weichel of Ashland. Beth Ann, if you're watching, give us a call, 570-455-7267, extension 104.
Today I interviewed the 2 district champion swimmers from Marion Catholic High School. We'll have that story next week for you. And remember, for breaking news, facebook.com/FYI News 13 and standardspeaker.com. We'll see you on Friday. Take it easy, everyone.